Okay, so step straight into it. This came as a result of a friend that I was helping. I was just trying to bring him an awareness about his PAI, the POPIA Act, and all those kind of things. And while doing that on my business, I went and checked his. I mean, we've been friends for quite a while now because I assisted him two years ago, and he's doing into catering, and he was doing things all by himself, but didn't have the proper papers, because many times, you get a good deal and then the company will say, give us a BEF document, or bring this, where's your company registration? At that time, it was already, he had already tried to register the company via third party, but then they kept on offering him, price tag was like what, 1,000, 2,000 or something. So eventually he just got tired and just, he's just going to carry on running business. Until I came in and I said, well, look, I had the same situation 2 or 3 years or 4 years back. And I had no option than to figure out my way through and find out how I can register my company myself and get the paper rights. And that involved a lot of reading, I'll be honest, and a lot of checking things and conversing there and there. I'm just going to tell you what I've did, and let's try it. So that's how I went through the process. Obviously, with him, it was smoother because, well, he met someone who had experience, and we registered a company, a private company at that time, and it's been 2 years now. And there's still a few things he had to figure out there and there, but he got the gist of it. So while then I came across these new POPIA Act and all the stuff, I thought, well, let me go and check. Maybe this guy is not, he probably doesn't know. And then his reaction was what I was almost expecting. He didn't even know about it. And I thought, if he didn't know about it, surely many out there also don't know about this compliance. So that's how the idea of sharing this information came about. That's the story. I'm not an expert in this. The information you see here in this somewhat good, bad looking diagram is just stuff that I've gathered from various websites. The Bees website, the I think it's bizportal.gov.za website. Did I put the link somewhere here? I think I did. Yeah, the info regulator, bizportal, and I think the bizportal.gov.za has the information about the business registration in collaboration with the CIPC website, I think. Something going on there. Anyway, you get all the information there, similar than visiting the CIPC website as a client. So that's how I came about this and decided, well, since I help him, how about I make a short video just to raise awareness. Please don't use this information as a building block for your decision making. Do your due diligence, do research, read, put that stuff together. This is just a picture, like they said, picture talks or say 1,000 words. So I'm hoping I will achieve the same through this. And if not, well, leave your comment and leave comment that are constructive. So, even if they're not constructive, I think there's room for improvement. So yeah, that being said, that's how I came about this. And the diagram is just for illustration and just to give you the thought process in trying to also make my friend understand what is required. Like I said, it's just for awareness in terms of compliance. And there's a lot of things that your company has to be compliant about. And the stuff that I've put here is probably not all of it. So, but this I'm hoping will be a basis on which you can be curious enough to find out things for yourself and for your company. So he is registered as a private company, and by he I mean my friend. and gone through this process of registration with the CIPC, and obviously they provided the necessary document for those of you who have done this, or someone did it for you, or you contacted a third party. That's basically what goes on behind the scene. Probably some of you are going like, is that all? So I spent all those 2,000 for nothing. Well, yeah, now you know. Now you know. And that's how everybody makes money. I mean, if you, as long as you got your stuff sorted, you can also help someone else. And I put this here, IONZIO, but I'll get back to this later on. And he got it registered for SARS, got the company registration, got a business account sorted. Can be any bank, FNB, Standard Bank. I mean, I'm quite familiar with FNB. I'm not sure which bank you're using. And this information, by the way, is I'm using South Africa as a context. So if you're listening or watching this from a different country, so it's probably going to be very different. But maybe the principle remain, the concept remain the same. So my friend got all the stuff sorted. We didn't do this because he's basically a one-man show at the moment, still trying to get his feet there and then move forward. But if you happen to want to go this route, there are some stuff. If you have a turnover 1 million, I think it's 1 million per year, stand corrected, and also if you hire staff and things, the arrow doesn't mean that's a flow. I just put it here just to show what is available and a certain path. And all that information is available on SARS website. So read and ask questions. Now, decision here is, short of it is, this is based on your business context. And then some of the stuff, I mean, if you're catering, they might ask you for a license for certain things and permit. If you're hiring and you're paying salaries, you may want to register for UIF and all those kind of things. All that information, you can get it from these various website, government website. Read and put notes the best way you can. So I know about the BE, and something I've also had my friend with, because at some stage, some of these transactions that he was getting, surprisingly, from some big guys, they kept on asking for the B, and all that. So eventually I did some digging, read about it. He was also not sure where to go. He thought maybe he has to spend a lot of money, something he didn't have, and stuff like that. So it turned out, no, you can just download the form, fill it, and get a police station with an affidavit and sign it, and that's it. And it's renewable per year. Now, the information I just provided you with is subject to verification. I mean, go and check out if that's exactly what it is. But I remember we had to do a renewal per year. The other stuff, I'm not quite sure about it, but I just put them here just so, I mean, maybe they belong here, maybe they belong somewhere else before that. But I mean, that's my thought process behind this. But that's not even my focus. So, and then we set up some in accounting, invoicing, and systems, and this can get very complicated if you have a lot of money being made, a lot of transactions, and so you need something that really processes stuff cool, and maybe someone who is in charge. But for sole proprietor, I mean, if you're only one man there, it can also get complicated. With my friend, I introduced him to a tool called ZoBooks. You probably heard about it. So I've been using it for a couple of years now. So it's very friendly, easy to invoice, and you can put a lot of stuff in there and then just automate stuff. So I think it's good. Now, transaction is where most of you maybe are or aiming to be after you've done all this process, where you're now doing transaction. So you're dealing with real people, like you're going out, you have a product, you have a service, they purchase it, they send you the money is in the bank, and money is rolling, so you're making big bucks. But then in the process, you have this organization handling information from this website. You can find it there. And now you're dealing with this handling personal information and public information. Now, this is serious stuff. So don't take it lightly. And that's something that is becoming more and more prevalent, especially because we live in a world where there's so much information, and a lot of stuff is fraudulent also. So you don't want people information landing in the wrong hands, especially if you're a business owner, because the consequences are clear. As you can see here, non-compliance can lead to serious consequences, including penalties. So I don't know how you're going to make it if now you're trying to make some profits in these difficult times, and then now again you've been hit with some non-compliance and then some penalties. It's just not good for business. Your dollars are dropping, so you don't want that. So that's what I mean. Now, if you have a business that deal with this kind of things, you ideally want to make sure that you're compliant and at least you follow the instruction, the guidance provided on this website by the PAIA, for the PAIA, and also for the POPIA. The other compliance are like your annual return, CPIC, if you are making less than $1 million. I don't know, I think it's less than $1 million or something. It's just a minimum fee you have to pay there. And if you don't pay them, you accumulate fees and penalties. I mean, now imagine you've been transacting for 10 years and then only to go and find out that you have 2,000 or 5,000 outstanding that you could have sorted every year, or 100 rand. Now you're sitting with 5,000 that you have to pop from your profit to sort that down, not to mention the SaaS side of things. So compliance those are the things that I want to raise. And if you're making a lot of money, chances are you're probably going to end up having an accountant or someone that you will specifically handling your business. But if you're solo, these are some of the things that you're going to have to pay attention to. And some of them are not even required. They don't require you to be active or do them like every month. It's just pop in there and check it out. So I will actually recommend that some of these website links that I put there, I'll also add them in the description below. Just go in, read through. I know business can get you busy. You have, your head, you want to keep your head above the water. You have a lot of bills to pay and you worry about so many things, but it'll be even more worrisome if you only found out later on that you haven't been compliant and some of your customers are going and checking your biz on the biz portal and see your business has so many red. It's not good. I'll make another video where you can kind of see that kind of information. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I'll think about it. I also don't want to be, I want to remain compliant, not share people information publicly. So yeah. And then on the PAIA and the POPIA side of things, you want to have this. Now, this is a good time to talk about the IO and the DIO. Now, back up. So when you're setting up your company and they ask you to provide a director's name, depending on which category you fall under here, I'll only talk about private company because I know about it. And I think it's more or less the same to some extent to sole proprietor. But let me focus on this. Now, if you're only one there, let's say one director, and you provide the information, CIPC has that information, then you are automatically the IO. So that means that you're in charge of this, assuming that you deal with this kind of information. People information, cell phone number, physical address, banking, and all those things, anything that has a potential to identify someone else. And that someone else or client has entrusted you with their information. You need to make sure that you comply. So as the IO, business owner, you have the responsibility of checking this. Now, saying that is one thing. As another one, to comply is another thing, because when you visit the website, they have assessment day where let me warn you, it's a lot of questions. And I'm sure some of you might be going, well, there's no way I'm going to comply with this. I might as well not even gather people information at all, which is good. But I'm not sure how you're going to do a transaction if you don't know who you're transacting with, unless you really have some sort of sophisticated way of doing transaction without getting people information. Yeah, I guess maybe there is a way. Let me not shut the door. Maybe someone can do that. But you want to be compliant as an IO and make sure that you comply. So there's a list of questions that they ask you in the assessment for these two use cases. And then at the end of it, they give you a position and some recommendation, which I find very useful. I'll probably go through the website in another video, but that's the gist of it when it comes to the IO. Now, the DIO, which is the Deputy Information Officers, is nominated. So, I mean, maybe someone within your company, if you guys are like partners or whatever, I don't know, or someone you're hiring and you have enough money to pay them a salary or something, then the DIO and you become like think of it as your secretary. You become responsible to ensuring that you are compliant. I'm not sure if it's possible to outsource these services, but I'll be curious to know. What do you think? Yeah, there's some people out there where you can outsource and they do this for you. That could be a good business opportunity. So yeah, that's the IO and DIO, how they fit in this picture. So that's the awareness that I want to raise and say, let's do business, grow in business, but don't let small things like this that only take maybe a combined time of 5 or 10 minutes per day to just make sure that you're still in track and that you're not caught by surprise. And some of this information, if you're a business owner, like I was telling my friend, and thank him again for his reaction. And if it had not been the case, probably I wouldn't have made this video. So and it's the case. I mean, if you go and you're surprised and you don't know what to do, and by that time it could be very late. So I'm hoping this video help you not to get to that stage and do the necessary while you can. I think I'm probably going to do more video on this and maybe expand on some of this POPIA because a lot of it has to do with IT and my field is also IT. So I think I'll probably expand more on this and see how I can assist with more videos. So I hope I've helped someone out there, and then now maybe some of you are running to the website to check. And apologies again for the quality of this diagram. I'm just trying to communicate something here, which is awareness, and check your business, go through your stuff, and make sure that you remain compliant and do the assessment. There are many other assessments that need to be done. All right, I hope this was helpful. And please don't quote me on this, please. I'm not an expert. I just put information together in a picture, and I hope this picture spoke to you 1,000 words. And yeah, until the next time, have a good one. Bye.